guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Victoria Ayodele Fash. If you're new here, thank you so much for joining me. If you're a returning subscriber, you know I love you. You know I appreciate you so much. Thank you for always coming back. Today I have this delicious looking man here.
I'm Kick or do not.
Yes, now. Introduce yourself.
Hello everyone, my name is Wale Ayodele Fash. It's great to be here once more.
Yeah, it's great to have you here again. All right, so we will continue with answering the question. We've done the part 1, and this is the part 2. So make sure that you watch that. Okay, all right. Okay. So this said, I need advice on my marital status. I have had 6 failed relationships, and the last one ended last year. Why do I feel like I think I responded to her or what? Well, the last one ended last year October because I realized they never truly loved me. I was 32. I will be 32 by December last year, or is it this year rather? Sorry,
this is February.
Okay, this year. My mom especially is not comfortable with the fact that I am not in any relationship. I have this man that started disturbing me late last year. He's 50 years old and way too older than me. My mom especially is beginning to pressurize me rather, despite me telling her I can't be free and happy with a 50-year-old man as my husband. He has never been married before, but that doesn't even concern me. I want a husband that I won't be ashamed to be seen with in public. I don't want to get married because of the pressure, and at the same time I can no longer cope with being single. So babe, what's your advice?
Okay, having failed relationship is always better than a failed marriage. So forget the numbers and don't fixate on it. Most people, and I say it with all humility, most people had failed relationships.
A lot.
I mean, if you want to count normal relationships we've had from teenage years to when you got married or you became, you have to look, and technically they are all failed relationships as a way. So but this is it. The first thing you need to do for yourself, I think, is identify what you need in a man. And that's a lot of process, because it might, depending on how self-aware you are, it might involve you even consulting friends or whatever who knows you, because sometimes we have things we're dealing with that we are blissfully unaware of. So what you need in a man will help you when men come around to ask you out, so that it will be easy for you to filter and to know that, okay, this one is a no, but this one, okay, maybe possible and all that. And as to the pressure, it comes with the time and the age. If being a lady, for instance, at 32, it's just normal that your parent will be on your case, and they'll be trying to do this one. But I like the fact that you're trying to tell your mom that this is not the kind of something I want. They won't understand with you, but you'd have to probably insist, since the distance is much. 50 to 32, that's like 18 years difference, if I'm correct. And then when we now talk about life expectancy and all that, you're thinking, how long can I spend with this person before he passes on? Even if he doesn't pass on, it becomes too old, and all those kind of things. So it's all a big question in itself, but the pressures will come. But it's now left for you to identify what you want in a man first of all, and for not exactly selfish reasons, try and be objective. If you have that, it may help you to narrow it down and all that. Then also, if you're trying to be in a relationship and you're a very reclusive person, someone who has maybe a triangular life, you go to work.
That's one thing I wanted to talk about.
Yes, too. Your social life has to improve. If you must meet people, your social life has to improve. So if you're the type that even when you go to church after service, immediately they say the grace, you run away. You do not belong to any group in your church. local community, you fraternize with people, it might be a bit difficult for you to meet people. If you work in certain work environments where which kind of restrict you, it means your job is double. You'd have to find way more ways to be social, to relate with people. If, for instance, the same set of people has been in your circle for years, there's no other new persons, of course that's going to make things a bit difficult for you. And if you're more amenable, you can also employ the use of social media, even though it's risky. So there's
it worked for us.
Yes, it did. So, I mean, it's doing a great. It's
working for people.
Exactly. So well, the thing is, you have to stay strong.
Yeah.
Especially from your mother's angle. I had moments when my parents were, or my mom, let me not say, my mom, my cousins, my friends, they were on my case, but. So I know it's not that easy, and it can't be that easy, especially, and I know that whatever pressure I may have felt then, it will be double because you're a lady.
Yeah.
So, but all of those will help, because for my own case, one of the things I made sure was I can't marry just anyone. I have to marry within certain parameters. But if I meet the person, you will know it. And when I did, it was easy for them.
They knew it.
You get it.
They knew
it. They God forgive you. Pride. So it's that way. So that when you meet the person, when you see the person and all that, it will be easy for you and all that. And I don't know how much of a believer you are, but you may have to prayerfully
you definitely
engage in this, because all of these failed relationship in comparison is very minimal to failed marriage.
Yeah.
Failed marriage messes people up.
It messes you up.
It has such a debilitating effect on people. So I think it's just that way. But just stay strong. Stay strong.
Yeah, I think.
And I know that in this age and time, people say a lot of thing like it's not compulsory to be married and all that. It's dependent on you.
If you want to be married, that's what
you want for yourself, that's fine.
Yeah.
But if that's not what you want, then you can't
but
stop.
It's obviously what you want for yourself, right? So don't listen to all those things. Okay, be happy, single and happy. Yes, be single and be happy. And find something doing. Okay, find something to focus on. Trust me, the man that is meant for you is going to find you. Don't look at it. So people, it happens for them early. I was one person that wanted to wait till I was at least 30 years old before I got married, because I had a lot of career and everything. But God just asked me to rescue this man so that his family members will not kill him. But you understand, so God needed me for a mission, so that's why God just interrupted my plans.
My God will forgive him.
So anyways, but all jokes aside, right, for some people it happens earlier, for others it happens later. Who says that the person that got married earlier is going to succeed faster than you, or the marriage is going to last longer than yours,
or the more richly
more richly they will have, or the first to have kids? Because if that is at the age, that's one thing that makes parents, you understand, put pressure on you, that get married early, because biological clock, your body is getting older, the eggs they are reducing every month, so you understand. So that's one of the reasons why. What?
No, nothing.
Okay, that's one of the reasons why parents are on your neck like that. But see, marrying early does not guarantee that, and even if it doesn't guarantee happy marriage, it doesn't guarantee that the marriage would last. Do you understand that? So don't put any pressure on yourself. Just know that God's timing. Pray about it. Pray about it. I know a lot of single ladies say, why will I be going to single conferences, be praying about man? Why can't the man? Sister, it's you that know what you want. Okay, so pray about it, and God will not withhold any good gift from his children. Remind God of his promises concerning you. Pastor said it in church. You that you're looking for a husband, how many scripture do you have in the Bible that talks about marriage, about single people? The Bible says that God created when Noah entered the ship, he said there one. So there is one person for you. You understand? God created a male and female. Look for the scriptures that speaks to your situation and confess those scriptures over your life, right? Whilst you pray and you do other things, you focus your attention on other things. Get something doing. Focus on your career. Start a business. If you don't have anything doing, do it. And if you need to get out of your mother's house, I don't know if you're living with her currently. I know you're 32. I don't know what the situation is. If you're living with her, start start to save up to go somewhere else because you need your mental health. You all right? Or else if the person come, you will just like you said, you've had 6 failed relationship. What is the reason? You also need to identify the pattern. Why? Is it the kind of people I am dating? Is it something in me? Is there something I am doing? Maybe you need to call your boyfriends and ask them what's the problem, or you need to sit down and analyze. No, honestly, analyze what is the situation, what is it in me, and be willing to change. You need to identify it. You can't just be blaming the 6 of them. Something has to have happened from your side too. There's something you contributed to the failed relationship. So you need to ask what, and analyze yourself. What is the thing in me that is, ending relationships, and what do I need to change? You understand? So do all of that. Pray. Do everything my husband said. Don't put pressure on yourself. Trust me, God's timing is the perfect timing, and you don't marry any 50-year-old person that you are not attracted to. It's not about the age. I don't even care about the age, right? It is about your feelings towards the person. If you don't feel it, don't do it, okay? So yes, that's our own responses. All right, so the next question is says, good morning, ma'am. Please, I need advice. My name, okay, well, she's 22 years old. Please, is it advisable to marry someone you're not attracted to? I think we just answered that, indirectly. I said this, and I think this is coming from the last video I did about, attraction and all of that. But the truth is, what I said in that video is give the person a chance, date the person, see how it goes. You understand? However, if after dating you realize that you are not physically attracted at all to the person, then there's no need going in there. But I also think that sometimes our mindset of physical attraction is so wrong. You think that physical attraction is when you see the person and you just want to take the person's clothes off, just want to, that's attraction. You see the person and your ovaries just start to jump around you. That is not necessarily what, there might be moments like that, but it's not every time. Physical attraction, I like to be in his company. You understand? I'm attracted to him sexually, okay? It doesn't have to be animalistic, okay? If it's animalistic, then there's something wrong. Do you understand? There'll be a few times when I want to tear this clothes off. No, we're not tear his clothes, okay, but I want to get I want to get intimate with him. You will feel that way when you're around him. But I think a lot of people think physical attraction is you see the person and your body is just doing you one kind. It's not always like that, okay? It's just
that happens only in movies.
Yeah, in movies. That's
books.
The thing. Don't allow that to cloud your judgment. You enjoy the person's company. You love being around the person. You long being around the person. You don't mind. You understand. You feel like kissing the person every now and then or something. You understand? Well, you wanted to kiss me?
No.
Yeah, kiss me. I know you want to. You're going to reject your camera. So, but it's because of the lipstick you don't want to kiss me.
Okay, yeah, already stained
everybody will know
my royal lips.
Your royal lips. Anyway, so yes, so that's the thing. Don't do that. And then she said, this is the situation I am in right now. Someone I am not attracted to is proposing to me. He's a pastor and said that he's convinced that I am the one. I know I definitely know I responded to you in my DMs, but I really do not like him. My parents feel like he's the one for me, but I can't help it. I am not attracted to him. I have tried getting to know him or being friends with him, but yet no feelings. I've told you already in your DMs. Please run. Anybody, God is not an author of confusion. If God told him that he's your husband, God will tell you to, okay? God does not do mago. Do you understand that? So don't let anybody come to you in the name of the Lord and said, I always say there's no one person for you, okay? There's no one person for you that God said if you don't marry this person, then that is not it, okay? So don't allow anybody come and say God said, and you go and marry and end up. I've seen, especially in pastors, I've seen this manipulation tactics, and I hope it's not still happening, okay? So don't allow anybody. You are not attracted to him. You have given it a try. You've got to know him, but still you don't feel that. Cut it off, okay? It's not meant to be. Or babe, what's your thought?
Well, I do think that in certain instances, though, there's one person for a person. In certain instances, from place of revelation, I mean, it does happen that way. But So
when you miss the person, you cannot marry again.
No, that's why it's too it's too convoluted for this kind of discussion. So, but it's just an aside. But I think the old setup may be it may suggest more. Like you said, the person is a pastor. You already has your parents' confidence, but you don't feel anything, and you have done the best. Then there's no need to hurry. I mean, there's no need to now go ahead or proceed to the permanent site or one thing, if keep hopeful or prayerful about it, keep praying about the issue,
And you're
if
22,
possible. Right? So
for
there's
God's
no
sake.
hurry. Take your time. If it still doesn't work out, then it's not working out. I mean, there's something you can always do, which is easy to. If the person says, God says you are the one for me, tell the person
go
that
and
when
tell
you go
God.
to God, let God
Reveal it
help
to
me to see that information too. God is not an author of confusion. In things like that, more often than not, the revelation comes. Sometimes a
both
person
parties.
catches the revelation
First.
earlier. Sometimes it's even some other people in their life. At least I know someone who the mother knew
Yeah.
who he was going to marry for a period. And when he went and said, Mom, this is what who God has revealed, his mother said, yes, I know. I've been praying with her for over a year. Do you understand? So some of those things happens that way. But it will, if God said it, you will catch it.
Yeah.
It's impossible that God will say it and leave
And
you out
will
of the
not know.
equation.
It doesn't work that way.
So-
God is not sexist. So yeah, that's our own advice. All right. Good afternoon, Ma. I'm one of your YouTube family. I'm reaching out to you because I'm scared and afraid. I declined to relationship this year. I think this actually came in this week.
Close.
I declined to relationship this year because our perception on sexual purity does not align, and I have been single since last year June. I declined the second one on Saturday, and I feel so heartbroken because I liked him, but the most surprising part is that he is a believer. He serves in church, and we listen to messages on sexual purity together. So I was really surprised when he told me physical touch is non-negotiable for him in a relationship, and once we get very serious with each other, we are certain about each other, we'll have to start having sex. I am just scared if there are still men out there that believe in sexual purity. Gosh, I need to first of all, I need to respond to you privately, because obviously you are going through an emotional trauma. But babe, what do you think? Are they still there? Are you guys still?
Okay, first of all, the fact that you met someone in church does not mean that they have all, I mean, it happens all the time.
Church is a hospital.
Even when someone is a believer, sometimes the strength or the degree of their illumination, the light, the message of the Bible is not exactly immersed in them, because inherently human beings are selfish, and sometimes we are unwilling to let go of the flesh for spiritual things. So we find excuses, we lay claim to certain things and say, okay, this is that. And believe me, it's something I can understand, because I'm a guy and I know I obtained. And in fact, there were times when as a young guy, we knew Bible verses that we used to, not only toast women, make them want to, believe that it's normal that to sleep with each other. Like, it's not exactly. We knew verses that we could use depending on how much of the
And
Bible.
they are still using the verse the old does it today.
Thank God I didn't say.
I told them one of your verse in my last video.
But it's in the Bible now. So, but that one is even for wife. It's not all those ones. So we add them that if we find out that they are not so grounded, we can use it to tweak and convince you and all that. So the fact that you met someone that is in church, is a worker, does not mean that the person has everything about God or the idea of God in full alignment. Most times, like she said, a lot of us are in church, we are workers, we are all that, but we still need more close intimacy with God to align with God's way.
Okay.
And when it comes, but that's on a lot of some of these things. Sometimes people do certain things, they feel that they are good, being Christians, that as a Christian I'm good and all that.
So a question.
Okay,
We are deviating.
all right, okay.
So her question.
Okay, so You may have met him in church and all that. Don't let that one surprise you. There are a number of good people in church, good church people that believes in the Bible and will help you even preserve all of this, your virtues, and all that. So don't be so just understand that they are human, and they are allowing their flesh dictate to them as against the word of God. And if we are truly Christians, it should be the word of God. But sometimes people struggle with some of these things. But don't be disappointed in them, or even if you are disappointed, don't hold it against Christians generally. It happens that way. I mean, if you be truthful, you must have had dealings with people in church that are not in matters relating to this, and you question their faith. That maybe someone in your department will act one day and be like, is this one even a believer? Do you understand? So it happens that way. It's just that in this wise it's manifesting in this way. But you can because of that generalize that everyone is like that. And sometimes people's association sometimes influences some of those things. I would not say that I was the best of a Christian when I met my wife, but I'm far better than where I was. And a lot of it was because of her. God helped use that for me and all that. So sometimes
God used me to draw him out of the pit of destruction.
Clap for yourself. So sometimes
myself, God bless you.
So sometimes, although it was a bit different when we met, this was not a problem for us. Maybe because it wasn't. And the truth of the matter that I would tell for fact is that as of then, it was not a question of Bible. It was just me that I just, it's not. It was just like for me, it's no problem. I can go with it and all that and all that. But I'm glad that it happened that way. At least maybe I would have lost the chance to have this wonderful woman as part of my life.
Say it again.
So
say it again.
Just replace the video. You hear it again. But I can play it like 18 times. So do you get the idea? So but ideally as Christians, the source of some of this thing has to be Bible. And so that's why you find people in church who says this one and that one, and you should run. Ideally, when you meet people like that, run.
And that was my response to her was run.
Please run.
Don't allow anyone.
Because you don't. Number one.
Oh, not even her. Sorry, I've not responded.
You don't even know how many people he has used that same lines with in the church. And there are people like that, but it's not supposed to be. I don't know how people have that confidence that. So even in wayward days, it was a lot difficult thing for me to do. People have that confidence to be in church with someone, be work out with someone, and be sleeping with them, and go to church on Sunday and lifting up holy hands. And it was a lot of work for me then. That
my husband used to sin on Sunday.
It used to scare me like
thunder should just come down from heaven now.
I don't know. So people will be like that, but you don't have to restrict yourself, but run when anybody is trying to twist the Bible.
My own response to this is, good riddance to bad rubbish. To be honest, I know that it's tough to be heartbroken, right? But don't lower your standard for anybody, especially when it comes to sexual purity, because trust me, the things that you hold, and that's how I always say, know your values, know your non-negotiables, okay? And sexual purity should be one at the very top of the list of your non-negotiables, and don't lower it for anybody. They should be able to walk their way and show you that they deserve you, right? To be able to stay in that, to be able to let you. Do you understand that? It's a different thing if we've agreed, we've been in a relationship, and maybe one time we had a mistake, we kissed or something happened. Do you understand? But this is an agreement, and then it's easier to go back and restrain ourselves. But when you're in a relationship with someone that does not believe in that, the person will always be tempting you to want to, will always be testing your boundaries. Do you understand that? And the moment you start to lower your standard, you will keep lowering it. You will keep lowering it, because today it's sex, tomorrow it will be don't work, next tomorrow it could be leave your family, next tomorrow you will keep on lowering your standards for him. So the things that are your non-negotiables, don't negotiate it with anybody. Whoever does not accept that, should not be in your circle. It's like me saying that my non-negotiable is someone that is physically abusive. You are not advising me to, because I'm a woman, I should be, negotiate. No, it shouldn't be. Do you understand that? So I understand the pain. If I can tell you how many guys left me because I said I won't have sex with them, I can't count them in my fingers. Do you understand that we're together and they said, oh, they have to have sex, and I told them I can't, and they left me. Sure, I want to do a story time about that, later. Maybe you should watch that video. Yeah, I had a lot of them, but guess what? The person that God had for me was in Abuja. I was in Lagos. I was in Ghana. I was in every other places. But the person God had for me was somewhere. Do you understand? I didn't even know that he existed at the time. But I had a lot of heartbreak. In short, the very story I shared, I had a story time about, he left me for my hairdresser. Go and look at that video. One of the major reasons why he cheated on me with my hairdresser, basically, was because I didn't want to have sex with him. And he found someone that would give it to him. And it was really heartbroken for me. I was admitted in the hospital. It was very, very tough for me.
Sorry.
If I give you shiko, it was very tough for me. You understand that? But today I am so glad, that I didn't end up with that person. So sometimes God uses that to take away people that don't belong to you, and sometimes we feel like, oh, it's punishment, or our standard is too high, or we are, and the world makes us feel like, oh, who do you think you are? You understand? But sometimes that's God's way of removing the people that don't belong in your life from your life. Do you understand that? So yeah, don't beat yourself up. Let it go. Let him go. Just know that he is good riddance to bad rubbish. He doesn't belong to you. He's not God's person for you, and you move on. The person that God has for you will come to you, and he will accept you. Accept your standard. He will even love you for it. Do you understand that? You know what it means when my husband tells me that I am glad that he's only me. Do you know the pride that comes with it? You get that? Don't allow anybody takes that away from you. And who says that when he finished debaying, he's not going to leave you? Who says he's going to marry you? A person like that. They're just there to use you. They're just there to use you. Who says that after he gets there now he will marry you? He doesn't marry you. Now you started to have body counts, and the second person will come and say, and then he gets there and he leaves you, and then that's how it starts. Do you understand that? So don't even do that. Okay, so the next question says, hey Victoria, I am a fan and a subscriber to your YouTube channel. Please, is it possible to do a video about how men and women should act or behave in every stage of match-made friendship? Oh, I think this is the one I said I'm going to do a video about. So yeah, matchmaking. Don't worry, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about it. My husband is laughing because he knows. We'll talk about that. This one said, I don't know what's happening with me. I want to get married and have a husband, but I don't want to have sexual relationships with him. I know I talked about this in my video on oral sex. Maybe you should go and watch that, because I should actually answered your question in that video, right? Because trust me, it's just a mindset issue. It's the things you've known growing up. We already talked about trauma, you understand, and the effect trauma can have to you. And sometimes it's just a repetition of, and sometimes you might not even have trauma. It's just what we also talked about, the words that you constantly hear and how it shapes your mind about certain things. So every time you grow up, you're hearing sex is dirty, sex is bad, don't have sex, sex will ruin your life, sex will make this, sex will make that. So even though you are not consciously doing it, sometimes your brain starts to have a conditioning that sex is bad for you. Do you understand that? And because of that, your sexual nerve is compressed because of the mindset you have of sex. Do you understand that? So sometimes that could be the situation. You understand? So you need to find out what exactly is the problem. Where is this coming from? Why don't I want to have sex? Is it out of fear? Is it out of what I've been told? When you're able to identify where that fear is coming from, the source of that fear, then you can now start to heal yourself, right? You can also join my mentorship school. We are going to run you through all of that. Look out for it sometime this week. You'll find a flyer out there. Now that I've said it, I have to do it. So babe, do you have any?
No. Okay, in addition to what she said, I think you may have to consult a therapist. There's a possibility that you are asexual too. And asexual people are people with low or inexistent sexual drive. They have almost inexistent sexual feelings and all that. And some to a certain degree can be managed. Some, I don't know. So I'm not a professional, but I know. So you may need to consult one so that you'd know exactly where you fall,
Yeah.
and if and what remedies are available to you and all that. It will help.
Yeah, I think so too. It will help you, and you are still single. Trust, sometimes when you meet the person, the right person, you guys will be talking and your body will be doing you. So like just it's probably just because you've not met the right person that would press the right button to get. But yeah, it could also be that you just have a low sex drive, right? And with that, you definitely need to talk to probably a sex therapist and all of that. But if you join the mentorship class, we can analyze it and see if you truly need it or not. Okay. So I think that's the last question. Let me see if there's any other one. We are not going to the comment section today. Oh, there's now wow, I thought we had done. I went to a senior college party and met his niece, who I'm interested in. I had a chat with her and everything was correct. Remember this question? But the party was dismissed because of some other issues. Since that day, I've been trying to get the number but failed. I've been thinking of telling my senior colleague about how I like his niece and my interest of having a serious relationship with her. Please kindly advise me. My senior colleague.
Okay, I don't think there's anything wrong in it. Just be sure that
you have the right intentions.
Okay, that's important too. But yes, okay, maybe that's what I needed to say, because like you said, he's your colleague. I
Your
think
senior colleague
at work. So if it doesn't work out,
it's going to be miserable for you.
It might be hard. Like as a rule, I never dated my friend's sister's cousin or all those ones, and the reason is simple. More often at that time, I was not even ready to be serious, so it was more, So I didn't want anything that would spoil my friendship with the person, because I won't be able to do anyhow to the girl, and the person will know and be comfortable with it. And besides, sometimes all those kind of things used to exert unnecessary influence. So, but if it's for a serious thing, and I take it from what you're saying, a matured person, just be sure that it's something you want to do and you like her enough, or maybe if possible find out information about the person and get details. Sometimes talking is allowed. Check the social media page and all that to get better information.
I think it doesn't have any information about her.
That's very hard, because it might just be an image. Everything you're feeling now might just be predicated on your idea about her that may not be true.
No, well, I think they had a conversation, but he never got to find out more about her because the party was disrupted fast.
Yeah, but also depending on your relationship with your colleague, like if you guys are cordial, it's a way it's possible that you'll be able to say, bros, after this person now, I've not heard from her since, I'd like to have a number. You know how to talk depending on how the person is. I'm just saying, don't
I think they are not that close for him to be asking like this question. I don't think they are that close. Yeah, but for me, I feel like, what's the worst thing that can happen? You say no, right? Is it worth missing out on? Obviously something clicked. You had a good conversation. Yeah. She made you feel some way. So it's worth finding out if it's even going to lead somewhere. So the worst thing that can happen is he says no, and see if God wants to make it work. Forget men's protocol. But you would never know until you ask.
Yes.
Right? So I just think, just ask him. My husband said, depending on your relationship with him, so it will determine how you would approach him, right? So if he's a friend, you can always say how far, if he's not, if he's your senior colleague, because the way I see all this lawyer senior colleague, you just need to just tell him, hey, I'm sorry, but the other time I came, I met this young lady, I really do like her, and I would like to get to know her better, but I didn't get her contact. I don't know if you can maybe tell her about me and see if she's willing, if she would like to have a conversation with me, and just present it in a way that,
and this is why it's good to be a good person, because
if the man knows that you're a bad boy,
it will be hard. You get
it will be tough. It will be tough. But even if that is the situation and you do feel just ask him and let him know that you're serious about it. You have no bad intention. You just want to get to know her and see if it can lead anywhere. And I'm sure that, if the guy wants what's best for his sister and he sees you as a trustworthy person, or even if not, pray about, if you know that you are not a good person, pray about it. Let God go ahead of you before you go. Trust me, God can do wonders. God can melt the person's heart for you before you get there. So pray about it before you go ahead with it. But at the end end of the day, don't live your life regretting, what could have been if you had the courage to go for it. Right, babe?
Yeah, I agree.
All right, my partner and I both think the idea of waiting till marriage is great, and we want to, but I seem to have better control than he does, which is normal. So he said he should stay away from me for a while, to learn control.
But I wasn't okay with it.
He would stay away from me for a while to learn control, but I was not okay with it. What's your opinion on that, please? How best do you think I should handle this situation? What's the partner? Because he's the one that want to stay away from her.
I think staying away, we don't get the exact context of staying away. Perhaps the guy is saying,
we shouldn't have physical.
We shouldn't stay in close confines. I shouldn't come to the room and all those. It might be that.
Yeah.
So we don't have the idea. But if it's not, separating yourself, let's say how people used to say, let's take a break. If it's not within that context, then there's nothing to be afraid of. If it's within that context, then we may have other issues to consider. As to you having more control, I mean, that's just normal. One person will have more control
than the other. And mostly the women have more control. Mostly, not all the time.
It's you that has the control now, so it's fine. And it's
he said now, just because you want to throw some shade.
No, I'm saying that because I'm saying in their instance, not like in the, oh God, why am I even answering? So I'm busy the strain of thoughts. No, we are talking about control now. Yes, but it's even a good thing that it's 12 a.m.
Yes,
it's even a good thing that is respecting that boundary. Do you understand?
One man's food is allowed. Look at the lady that is saying that. Is there any man that wants to?
Do you get? So it's even a good thing that he identifies that by himself he may not be able to handle this, and so it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just how he's handling it and how you're responding to it. And if someone asks, we have our control is not the same way, like I said. So if he has a lot of issues, then help him by, when you guys want to meet in public places, and control the environment where that doesn't give room for emotions to get overcharged and him feeling that way. Because another angle that most women may not relate with is this: if a guy starts to feel that way, he's avoiding you because that's his only way to deal with it, because he ends up at the end of the day not liking himself. Because you probably communicated yourself. You know how it is when a guy is pushing you for stuff like that, and the person really likes you, and more often than not, you probably, maybe as a Christian, you are coming and saying, brother, this is not, I'm not saying brother anyway, this is not good. It feels bad, and because it's feeling bad, it will pull away and all that. And most times that's how guys react and process things that they can't control. They run away from it, they dodge, or they avoidance. So it's you have to make him feel like he's not despised, he's not less. You don't consider him less than, you don't value him less because of just that shortcoming. And he's also working on it. That's why he wants to do that. So meet him at a middle ground and all that one. Let's not stay in private places. Since I'm the one that have control and all that one, help him that way. It will be a more easier thing for him to relate with or to handle. And you'll find out that in time he will be able to even be more open and be like, there'll be days when, for instance, you're just hugging, and maybe you had a hard day and all that, and it's giving you a hug, and you want the hug to continue. Moments will now come when you can jokingly say, no, this hug is still getting too much. Leave me alone. No. And and you will be able to talk about it in more easy way without judgment and condemnation, feeling or guilt and all that. But that we are all human and all that. So
I think that's where I want to start from, though. Just realizing that we are humans, right? And especially when there's feelings involved, there's no way feelings will be involved and your body will not long for the other person's body. It's just a natural response, right? So you need to first of all know that it's not anything you did, it's not anything he did, right? It's just natural, right? It's if it's not even happening, that's when you should be having concern. Is it that you are not attracted to me, or what's going on here? If there's never been a mistake, of a almost kissing or a kissing or whatever, you understand that? So that's where there's a problem, right? So I've actually had situations like this before, you understand, with a friend of mine that their handshake was getting beyond shoulder and they decided to take a time off and they broke up. I also have another one currently that he has been on my case. I need for personal mentorship with his partner. They also they had a kiss and it became a problem. You understand? And I understand that this sexual purity thing, it's hard, in a lot of levels. I have been there, right? But I think you should just understand him, and it will be on you, and it's going to be a lot of hard work, but it will be on you to now find out how to have creative ways to date each other, right? Where do you need to go? Do you need to hang out? Do you need to go to his house and you guys take a walk for like a long hours and talk and everything, taking a walk, sitting down somewhere and gisting, and then you would escort him back home, you take Uber home? You have to be creative about how you now date, right? That is just a thing. Because you guys cannot be in close confines together does not mean that you cannot continue to be in a relationship together, right? You just need to find out creative way to date. You need to be intentional now about setting date times, about setting times to meet, about doing phone calls, you understand, and all of those things, right? I mean, long distance people, they do it. We did it for 3 years and it worked very excellently for us. You understand that? So, and then before you know what's happening, you get to build your friendship so much that it will be okay for you to be in a place, and it's your friendship that matters. You understand? You will get to that place where you'll be comfortable to be in a lonely place together again. But for now, when the tension and the feeling is still high, it is good for both you and him that you put measures in place to ensure that you don't break your commitment to God and to each other, right? So whatever you need to do it to secure that decision that you've made. And my husband said it because there is always guilt in your heart. I remember when we were dating and all of that. There'll be times when because we're living apart, there'll be times when I come to Abuja, I have to stay with him, right? And there are times when the handshake pass shoulder, you understand, and there's this feeling of, my husband will tell me, no, I made a promise to you, you understand, and stuff like that. So at the end of the day, just he's weak is recognizing it. Because you are able to withstand it doesn't mean he's able to, you understand? So just understand that, and then just find creative ways to date each other again until you get to a place where, and you will get there, where you're comfortable to being okay together. And then don't make your wedding too long. Maybe you need to fast track it, even if it's to do court wedding and stuff like that, so that you don't burn. The Bible says marry or burn, okay? So the burning is going to be there until marriage, so don't keep yourself waiting too long. So yeah, I guess that's it for today. Those are all the questions we have for now. We'll go through the comments and answer your questions there. Kituni, I believe God is the utmost protection of virginity, even though many wish but they got raped. It is well. But thank you guys so much for sticking around. We hope you're enjoying this part video, because it's going to definitely be a 3-part video. It's already almost 2 hours. It's actually almost 12 midnight. Thank you so much, babe, for agreeing, even though it was sleeping and it was impromptu. Thank you so much. I appreciate you and I love you very much.
We love you too.
Who is the we?
Me, myself, and
is it them I said that I?
Me, myself, and
you,
I.
yourself, and I.
You don't know that in the whole time, the royalties do not refer to them in first person. They call themselves we. We have decided. You can check. My
husband is so awkward with compliments. That's why he's doing all this drama. That's what he does. When you compliment him, he will just look for a way to make it funny, right? And it's the same way where they want to compliment you. But it is well. It's getting
I'm just
there.
A very humble person.
You're a very weird person. But anyways, thank you guys so much for joining us in this series. We truly appreciate you guys sticking around. It's been a long part of videos answering all these questions. So yes, please remember to like the video, to leave a comment, to share with your friends and family, subscribe, and let us know what you think, of course, in the comment section. So until we meet again, my name is still Victoria Ayodele-Fash, and this lovely man here is
Wale Ayodele-Fash.
I will see you in our next video. All right, bye guys.